Okay, hi guys and welcome to the show, and today I'm doing the full review of the Orient Black Ray Raven. This is a 21 jewel automatic dive watch from Orient, and the full model number is the FEM65007B. So let's get into the review and have a closer look. So as you can see, I've taken the bracelet off, and for very good reason, which I'll get into in a moment. But let's just go over the basic specifications first. So we have a 40.1 millimeter diameter, but it's basically a 40 mil watch, so quite similar size and scale to, let's say, a Submariner. It's about 13 millimeters thick. Now, first of all, I have to point out that when I was doing the unboxing, I described this watch as PVD coated. Now, I have to actually correct that. Since then, I'm doing a little bit more research on the subject, because I'm totally new to this this style of finish on a watch. The actual bracelet is PVD, but the watch case itself, I believe, is what they call IP. So it's a little bit more durable than just standard PVD, and it's actually something that Orient stressed on their own videos. So this has the Orient in-house 46943 automatic movement, and it's a really impressive thing. Normally you only see in-house movements with higher end brands. It's just a fantastic thing to be able to get at such an affordable price. Now, what that basically means is that this whole watch, everything, every single part is all manufactured and put together in their factory in northern Japan, and you really do feel that quality. I mean, I was really pleasantly surprised. I've been wearing this watch a week now, and as you can see, it's held up to quite a tough week of what I would say normal kind of beta watch use for me, which is, you know, walking the dog, exercising, biking, that kind of stuff. And as you can see, it's held up perfectly. So it's a 21 jewel automatic movement. It's not hackable, but yet it does have a really nice day-date complication. An interesting way of changing the day, it has it both in Spanish and in English, is this screw down pusher here. You unscrew this and you just press that, and it changes the it cycles through the day wheel, and then changing the actual date and time is done by the traditional screw down crown here. As you can see, it's very nicely signed. It has a unidirectional 60 click bezel, which I must admit is very solid and lines up absolutely beautiful. So you can really see and feel that Japanese craftsmanship that they're so famous for. Now let's look at the dial. So the first thing you'll notice about the dial is the hands. Well, at least I do. So I apologize about the reflection. A lot of light today. Very beautiful sunny day. But so as you can see right at the bottom, it has the movement, Japan movement, and then the number. Has applied markers, which are done very well. Nice broad hands, so lots of space for luminescence in there. And what I really kind of like about this watch is that's different from any watch I've ever owned before, is if you notice on the second hand, the only thing that is visible, if you have it like on your wrist and you have a quick glance at it, you don't even see the actual hand. You just see the pointer, the red pointer at the end. Now I really like that, and I think it's really cool, and it's kind of stealthy, you know, and you just see this little red thing going around. So it's a really cool, subtle little touch. The actual dial itself is a matted. It's not glossy at all, even though it's quite reflective. It's a matted black, and that really kind of is in keeping with the stealth look of the watch. Funnily enough, the actual bezel is probably the most glossy part of the watch. I almost would have liked to have the bezel all blacked out as well, but I can understand if you are using this for diving purposes, you want to make sure that this is legible. So if we just go back to the original specifications for the diving watches, you know, they had to be easily legible, they had to be obviously waterproof, and a nice responsive bezel for basic timing purposes that's unidirectional. So it ticks all the markers, it ticks all the points, but at the same time it is quite stealthy, and I really like that. So far the performance of the watch has been impeccable. So there is no manual wind, but I have to say it winds very easily, and it has a really responsive rotor, and you can feel it winding. You know, even little movements like this, it winds perfectly. And I actually tested out the power reserve the other day after a normal, what I'd say a normal active day for me. It lasted almost to its 40 hours. It winds very well, so not really a massive loss with not being able to manually wind it. So it kind of it reminds me a lot of the SKX in this regard. Obviously you can't have everything for a diving watch less than $200. You can't have everything, but it's well worth the money, and the quality, I'm just really blown away. It's a very impressive piece. So we'll just finish off talking about the dial, because as you can see, a really nice applied Orient logo there with their little heraldry, I think 2 little lions, and just have water resistant, 200 meters, and automatic under the logo. 200 meters, absolutely great. You know, I think that's really the minimum for a dive watch. Same as the SKX. My favorite part of the dial actually is the day-date window. I love it's framed in this kind of slightly glossy black little frame there, and it just lines up beautifully. The text is very crisp and clear. The fact that it's in negative is a really cool touch as well, so it just is in keeping with the whole theme of the watch. So we'll just have a quick peek at the back, because I've got the NATO strap on at the moment. Not really much to write home about here. Just unfortunately I've still got the sticker on. I should have taken that off, but just a standard little, you know, nautical themed engraving with a dolphin and on 2 dolphins, almost like a Pisces kind of sign, which is pretty cool because I am a Pisces. Anyway, stainless steel, Orient, you know, not bog standard, nothing really to write home about. You know, very solid construction, screw down case back obviously, and while I've taken the strap off, just want to say I really like I like it when watches have the holes for the spring bar positioned closer to here, closer to the end. On some of my Seikos it's more in the middle, and it can be a pain when you're trying to thread this through, but this is very easy, and as you can see, it's just, you know, very easy. So talking of lugs, it's 22 millimeters, which I think is a tad too wide for a 40 millimeter watch. I mean, I know it's 40.1, but it's basically 40 millimeters. I would have preferred it to be a 20 millimeter. Then I wouldn't have to. Then I could have it on some of my other straps. But actually, looking at it, it doesn't really look that thick. I mean, it is only 2 millimeters, but at the same time, I think a thinner strap would have been a little bit more refined. I don't think it's necessary really to have a 22-inch strap. Anyway, so as you can see, I've put it on a black NATO with PVD coated rings to keep the theme going. Now the reason for this is, well, basically, you know, I love NATO straps, and for active, you know, really active use, can't beat a NATO strap. But I'm glad I did, because one downfall of this watch is I'm not a big fan of this bracelet. If we look at the clasp, it's signed, has a safety, fold over safety, and 2 pushes. Solid construction, not really anything, not really problem. Slightly thin use of steel here, but it's, you know, again, $200, under $200. It's you know, I wasn't expecting anything amazing. The clasp is fine, is absolutely fine. I'm not a fan of these links. They just feel a little bit. Do you see how it kind of? It's a little bit cheap feeling. You know, when you're used to higher end pieces, the bracelet is usually the first giveaway. You know, so the bracelet, it loses maybe some points on the bracelet, but what it definitely loses points is the end links, and as you can see, they're completely hollow, and I can bend this with my finger, so that's not really a. They obviously had to cut some corners somewhere to keep it within budget, so I can understand that, and it adds to that kind of tinny feel. So it maybe loses some marks here, but the watch itself is really great, and I can't really find any faults with the actual watch itself. The case is very solid. We have, you know, a mixture of polished and matted surfaces. You know, design wise, it doesn't really do anything too dramatic. It's very slight, subtle design differences, such as, you know, indentations in the bezel here, and this pusher positioned here, which is, I mean, it adds a kind of cool sporty look, but then when you realize it's actually just to change the day, it's a bit strange. I'm not sure. I'm sure it's to do with the actual mechanics and of the movement, but yeah, it's a strange way of doing it. I've never owned a watch that has this before. So luminous pip at the 12 o'clock. I've talked about the applied markers. Very nicely done. If we just let it zoom in, everything. You see the way the lume is positioned exactly in the center, and it's also black. IP coated, so it again, you know, it's in keeping with the theme, and it's just these little subtle bits of design that I really appreciate. Now another downer is of course it's mineral crystal. Now it says it's hardened mineral, which I'm not quite sure what that means. If they're trying to, you know, it's an improved on just this bog standard mineral glass. For me, I've had Seiko SKXs for years, and gave them a really, you know, really tough time as beta watches, and I must admit I've never had problems with mineral glass. I mean, occasional scratch here and there, but on the whole, it's fairly, as you can see, it's flawless, and I've had this for a week. So very, very impressive. And you know, that the first question people ask when they look at this watch, they want to know, does the coating come off of this this IP plating or whatever it's called? Well, if this is PVD and if this is PVD and this is IP plating, from my research, the PVD comes off fairly easily, and the IP is slightly improved. So had I have worn the bracelet, that might have shown already some signs of wear, but who knows. But as you can see, I've been wearing this for a week and it's absolutely perfect. So so I've got nothing bad to report in that area. So this retails, I mean, the retail price they give on the Orient website is $395. Now, of course, you can get it on Amazon for much cheaper, but currently Long Island Watches, they have this for $179 in the sale, and I think that's the best price around, and it's undoubtedly worth every single penny, I mean cent, sorry, I forget I'm in America. It's worth every single cent. It's, if you want a beater watch that is a little different, you know, maybe if you're looking at the SKX or you're looking at that kind of price range, I think this is a really strong alternative. I'm really impressed with the quality. Bracelet side, for me, I'm happy just to have it on a NATO strap. So let's have a look at it on the wrist. Let's have a quick wrist shot. So as you can see, the 40mm is perfect for me. I absolutely adore it. It's just perfect. It's a great beater watch, and I never thought I would find something under $200 that, you know, that I actually enjoy to wear, and you know, it's just not the typical kind of diver that you know, something a bit different. So I'm really chuffed to bits with it. So in conclusion, let's kind of run through the good points. You have a solid, well-built watch, fantastic high-quality workhorse, very reliable, robust Japanese-made movement, all in-house. You have a really nice original design that's not, you know, it's not trying to just be another Submariner clone, homage or whatever. It is its own thing. There are obviously elements from, you know, I can see a little bit of SKX in there, I can see a little bit of Submariner, but generally it's its own thing. It's reliable, works, fantastic price. The IP coating is actually not bad at all. I mean, look at it. This has been on my wrist for a week, and I thought that was a mark, but it's not. It's absolutely flawless. So it's held up pretty good. Easy to read. It's you know, I love the design. It's a cracking little watch. Okay, so let's look at this. Some of the negatives. You got the day-date complication. 200 meters, water resistance, you know, a lot of really good things about this watch. Solid, very happy with it. Okay, now let's look at the negatives. Okay, so not really too fond of the bracelet, not too fond of the solid end links, but you know, you could always get another bracelet in aftermarket or put a NATO. Even I think this would really go well on a black leather strap. I think that would be a really cool thing. What else? There's no manual winding on it. Not really the end of the world, because it manages to wind very much easier than some of my high-end pieces. But other than that, it's a really solid watch, and if you're looking for a beater watch, or you want something to take to the shooting range, hunting, or you want something stealthy that you're not going to worry about mucking up, then this is a really good way to go, because you have the robustness and reliability of Orient and their movement in a very well designed, solid case, very masculine. It's a very classic design, yet with this black coating, it's very modern. It's a tool watch. It really, it looks exactly like what it's supposed to do. It's tough, robust. You know, it's exactly what it says on the tin, basically. You know, so in all, a really strong watch, and I doubt you're gonna find anything that much better for less than $200. And just a quick word to compare to my previous Orient, who my wife has now kind of commandeered it, and so I'll probably never see it back, but it suits her down to the ground. And but comparing it to that, the Bambino, I know it's a totally different genre of watch, but it's even a step up from that. I think the construction is even better than the Bambino. But and if you want to get one, Long Island watches have these currently in the sale for $179, which I think is a bargain. I don't think you could spend $179 on a watch and get more for your money than one of these. So really fantastic piece, and I absolutely adore it. Okay guys, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much for watching. Please email me if you have any questions, and I'll catch you next time. Okay, ciao.